on every morning when I wake up, what do I need to do? Like in one sentence, what is the plan for the day? Like a business plan. How many clients do I need to see? And then the other thing that I want to leave you with is passive income. For those of you who don't know what passive income is, active income is income that you are actively working for every hour. A doctor, a lawyer, a dentist, an auditor, professional people, they actively have to charge hours. So you as a salon owner or a therapist is also a professional person that needs to charge out hours. But there are certain income that you can earn while you are sleeping. And that is passive income. And that's what I want to teach you about. Because there are certain things that you as a beauty therapist in your salon, you're actively working there, and you can only charge out those hours that you have available because you only have 2 hands and you only have 24 hours. And what can you do to get that extra income over and above the active hours that you're working? Right, let's just have a look at this. The concept of 24 hours, everybody has that, and that's all you have. And then, let's just assume you work 8 hours a day. That means 40 hours a week, and if you take 2 weeks off for holiday, that's 2,000 hours per annum. That's all you have. Assuming you only work 8 hours and you have an active, a balanced lifestyle. Trying to get to the point. If you charge an average of 150 Rand per hour, that is your maximum income. So the only way that you can increase your income is to charge more per hour. Do you agree? With your number of hours, you can't increase that. So you can only increase what you ask for, your hour that you put in. You guys with me? Alright, now if you see what Robert Kiyosaki is saying, he's got a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then especially the book about the cash flow quadrant. If you want to read that, that's something that's going to open your eyes. Now he's got the quadrant saying that E is an employee. That means you work for somebody, you have a job. S is self-employed. You also have a job, but you work for yourself. Then this side, you have a B for business owner. So that means you own a business and you have other people working for you. And then I is investor, where you invest extra cash. Money works for you, and you don't work for money. Now, here's the big thing. Everybody left of that line, that means the employee and even the self-employed person, according to his theory, is poor and will always be poor. And the reason for that is that I just explained. You have a ceiling in terms of the number of hours that you have available. So you can never become totally independent because you only have your hours. Everybody right up that line will become rich, or according to his definition is rich, and the reason for that is because you have access to other people's hours. So a business owner, like a salon owner, if you're a therapist working for you, you're there. You immediately increase the number of hours available. You guys understand what I'm trying to get at? Alright. Now, the passive income. That is something that will increase your salon's product sales. It's not dependent on your hours, and its customer uses the product while you are busy with something else. Now, the nice thing about the beauty industry, and especially with the skincare, that it's a consumable. So while you're sitting here, some of your customers are busy using their perfume, their cream, and tomorrow they're going to give you coffee because it's finished. So that's the perfect situation where you are in if you are in a business where you have to sell a consumable. Because once the client is on it, they have to use it and you have to replenish in the month. So these are all the positive things that you can focus on. Alright, so you guys understand now the passive. Passive income also, another thing was, I mentioned last time, we went into a Wimpy and I asked for a toasted sandwich or something. And then I looked at the back there, and on the board there was, somebody wrote there, upsell. Ask for cheese, ask for bacon, ask for. So I could see it there. And obviously the person asked me, so is that all? Do you want some cheese? Do you want some bacon? Do you want some? And then you go, yes, 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 or whatever. And basically they upsold there. So the thing is for you here, while you're busy working actively on your customer and doing the facial, you might as well also focus on the passive income side of your business in terms of product sales also. And as opposed to just focus on the active part of it. Alright, so I'm going to show you now, we're not going to go into the detail, that's what Anne told you about how to do your sale, how to increase business sales, all that. I'm just going to leave the idea with you. But now to do the business plan for you. There are a lot of people who go and they say, you have to prepare a business plan for the bank, and it sounds so very clever and so belonging. So very cool. It's easy as the following. Alright, you calculate, and remember, because you are in a situation where you can calculate or determine your own income, because if you're in this industry, you work out what you want to earn, and then you work towards that. If you are an employee at a business, you get what you are offered, what you negotiate in return for your hours. You know that. If you work for a salary, you negotiate what your hours are worth, and you say, in return for my hours, I want to be paid this. Now you're going to go now and say, well, for my own hours, what do I want to earn? So how to do that? You calculate your expenses. That means what you want, what you need to pay for. Now I'm just going to have a simple example here. Telephone, vehicle, water, electricity, groceries, insurance, school, holidays, whatever. You make your list of what your expenses are, and your dreams, and your new fridge, and your new whatever you want to buy. And you get to a number. Now I'm going to show you now what the business plan is. So we first calculate the expenses. So this is what I need to pay for the month. Now in our example, I'm using 10,000. Alright, now if I am in a salon, I'm a salon owner, and I want to pay this by treatments. We're going to get now to the product sales and to the passive income side of it. But let's just say in terms of treatments. My business plan, here's my business plan. As simple as this, my income should be 10,000 rand. I'm assuming that an average selling price per treatment, it could be an hour, it could be half an hour, but let's say average selling per treatment is 200 rand. You can go in your salon and say, well, no, mine is 500. Well, then you do the calculation based on yours. So if I take 10,000 rand and I divide it by the average selling price of my treatments, I get to the number of treatments I want to, or I have to do in that month. You guys with me? Okay? If I get to my number of treatments, I break it down. Once you break it down in smaller pieces, it's more believable. Small things are believable and therefore achievable. So let's not focus on the 10,000 rand. What does that mean? What does that mean in practice? If we break it down to 50 a month, 4 weeks a month, that means 12.5 a week. Break it down, if I work in 5 days, that means 2.5 treatments a day. So small things are believable and therefore achievable. So once I know that I need to do, here's my business plan, I need to do 2.5 treatments per day at an average selling price of 200 rand per treatment, and I will get to my 10,000 rand every month. That's the plan. So once you wake up in the morning, you know I have to get to my 2.5. Now, a lot of you guys work, that's now if you have your salon, but some of you have different focuses. It could mean that you work it down to a week and you say, well, I need to get that all in a week. So I'm not sure if you have 2 days for a salon that you set aside for a different place, different city, different door. You say, well, that's the business plan for that part of my business. Okay, are you guys happy with this? Excuse me. I see one or two frog tickets, question marks. Can I carry on with this? Do you guys understand this? All right, now this is my business plan for my treatments. Right, now let's assume I want to do the same thing with my product sales. So let's say you work out your business plan and say, well, 10,000 Rand, that's what I need to pay with my treatments. Now I work out, let's say I want to go on holiday, I want to do whatever, or extra income or extra expenses, but that needs to be paid out of my product sales. Right, now let's do the same calculation. My income should be 10,000 Rand. If my discount that I earn, and most of you are on 30%, what should my retail sales be for the month? So that 30% of that sales equals 10,000 Rand. Now, if you don't understand the calculation, don't worry about it. Just write it down, and I will prove to you the way it is. So what you do, you take the 10,000 Rand, and you divide it by 30%. And then you get to the retail sales. In other words, if I put it the other way around, if I take 33,333 Rand and I times that by 30%, so what is 30% of 33,000 Rand? That equals 10,000 Rand. Isn't that the way you work out your discount or your commission? You're going to say, well, what's the retail sales of this product? And you times it by 30%. Am I right? No, it's the same here. But because you know what your income should be, you must now work it the other way around. So you divide it by 30% to get to the bigger number. Alright. Don't understand it? Just write it down. Okay, if that's my total retail sales for the month, again, what should I do per week? I divide it by 4. 4 weeks in a month. It gets to 8,300 Rand per week. If I divide it again by 5, that means it's 1,600 Rand per day that I need to sell. And I'm just assuming here, if I have a customer that buys 500 Rand, that's about 3 products, I need to see 3.3 customers a day. So here's my business plan. I need to see 3 customers a day, or 3.3, but I can't see 3.3, so make it 4. I need to see 4 customers a day that buys 500 Rand from me on average per day, and I'll get to my 10,000. So that's your plan. Does it make sense? Alright, let's carry on. So now what I'm saying is, for the same hours, while you are working there and doing your magic, just by focusing on product sales also, you doubled your income. And not just focusing on the income that I need to get from my treatments, but also from the passive income part of it. And then, that number, remember, is going to increase and increase and increase. That's why Anne is where she is. Because people must come back to come and get this stuff next month. Then you get a new customer. That customer must come back with the previous customer. Then you get 3 customers. It's going to increase and increase and increase. Okay, let's go to then the upsell that I told you about in the whipping. This is what it is now. Let's take I'm just going to take 2 examples. I take the photon and I take the Dr. Penny, for instance. You have a photon. Whom have you played Monopoly? Especially the one on Wii. I played it with the kids now a few years ago. And then I realized, if I don't have any property, if I don't have any assets, I'm going to pay the whole time. And I'm going to lose. So once you have something that you can use to earn money, you have an asset that can bring you something. But if you don't have an asset, you're going to pay. Now, these are the assets that are going to give you some extra money. Now, let's look at the photon, for instance. Obviously, these prices are going to increase 1st of June, and I can't remember if the photos price is increased, but let's take this as an example. Your selling price, for instance, is 2,930. There is a small discount that you, as a marketer, get distributor. All right, now let's take this for instance. How many treatments a month? If I only do one treatment a day, that means it's 20 treatments a month. And I want to work out here how many treatments will pay for my machine. So I take my cost price, and if I do facials, and if I upsell, say, well, I can do you know, part of the facial, we can do the photon treatment or what, and we ask you another 120 on top of that. Would you like that? Oh, of course I would like that. So if one person, or one of your facials a day, you get the upsell, that means within 1 month, you repay that machine. So cost of the machine, you have 20 treatments, you divide it by that, you see, you get to the same number. So, in 1 month's time, I repay this machine. Okay, this is just to show you how easy it is, but I want you to focus on the income. This is the income. If I have current facials per day, let's say 4 facials a day, that means it's 80 a month. And I explained to you the upsell now of the extra 120 per treatment. That means it's an extra 9,600 Rand a month. You're anyway doing the treatment, the facial treatment. You might as well ask, well, can I give you the light therapy and the what with the photon for an extra 120? And you have that money over and above. Now this is just by, and then you can ask the person if they want to buy the machine for themselves for home use. Well, there's an extra 3,300 Rand. I'm going to focus on that. So what I'm saying is, over and above your 10,000 Rand that we just talked about, and the product sales of the 10,000 Rand, now you have a photon, there's another 12,000, 13,000 Rand. Just by looking at things differently. And I'm just going to end up with the Dr. Pen, for instance. I worked out the same thing here. You say, well, if I have 1 treatment a day, I can repay my machine within less than a third of a month. But this is the one thing that you want to look at. If I do 1 treatment a day, photon treatment, that means it's 20 a month. And if I ask the additional income per facial, that means after, because I have to purchase the heads also, let's say 650, that means it's an additional 13,000 Rand a month. By 1 treatment a day. If I do 2 treatments a day, that's an additional 26,000 a month. If I do 3 treatments a day, that's an extra 39,000 Rand a month. Over and above everything that I just told you earlier. Now, if somebody of you sitting here that's earning a salary of higher than 30,000 Rand, 39,000 Rand a month, well, good, keep your job. But people's going to go for 4 and 5 and 6 treatments, and they're going to surpass you by another 2. That's passive income. Okay, the penny drop. Let's go on. Okay, any questions? That's me. Any